AOA podcast live, back for another episode. What's up, Frankie C? How you doing?
Doing all right. How are you?
I'm all right. Cuddles has joined us as a special reporter because we're talking about this Ohio environmental accident, and there's a lot to keep track of, and that's why we got her here. So, what up, Cuddles?
What up? I'm
Are you
here.
live on the scene?
Yes,
I am.
Cuddles is in
I
Ohio.
wish.
Yeah, it's great.
Reporting from Chopper AOA.
It's great. She's inhaling all the fumes. It's going to be spectacular. Plus, we'll do a recap of the Super Bowl, the commercials, and most notably the Rihanna performance. I bet you missed something. I bet you a lot. I mean, I know a lot of people missed this. I will point it out to you. You'll say, "Huh," and think of that.
Really?
Plus, I'm going to address the lip syncing controversy. Everybody who thinks Rihanna lip synced, you're missing out. You don't know a big thing about audio. I'll share that with you as well. One of the top U.S. generals has not ruled out these things that we're shooting down being aliens, these UFOs. Yeah. Plus, Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox. Is there a breakup there? Has there been some cheating?
Cheating.
And,
Idiots.
and we got a lot more. That's a big episode right there, my friends. Let's get it going. It's tough when you have cheating after you've like swallowed each other's bloods and had tattoos made
How do
with
you
each other's
beat that?
hairs and stuff. I don't know.
You think they're cheating with people that do that kind of stuff too,
Well,
or is it like normal? They cheat with someone who like bakes a pie and
Oh,
just sits
God.
on the couch and does nothing.
It's a great question. I don't know. We'll have to wait till we get to the topic.
Okay.
Let's start with the Ohio environmental accident. So this was kind of blipping on the radar screen today. I think a lot of people missed this. It seemed like a minor story, but now it kind of seems like a major story. So Cuddles, I'll do a slight introduction here and let you take over. But for those who don't know, a train derailed on February 3rd. It was carrying some chemicals with it. It just kind of crashed everywhere. And then I believe, Cuddles, if I'm wrong, correct me, this past Friday, somebody in the government thought, I know how we can get rid of these chemicals. Let's light them on fire.
No.
Yeah.
And
Who
then a
thought that?
huge black plume of smoke rained over
Oh.
Ohio for a little while. And now all the fish are dead. And then maybe there's acid rain. So there's a lot of things going
There's a
on.
lot
here.
going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, come
Yes.
on.
Yeah.
Who's
Yeah,
the
it's not
idiot that
good.
said let's light it on fire?
I don't know.
Uh,
But it's kind of listen, a lot of people's lives could be in danger. Not funny. It is kind of hilarious how our government's handled this going, I don't know, should we just light it on fire and hope for the best? And somebody
Yeah.
went, that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody went, hey, should we ask someone if that's an actual good idea or should we just do it and cross our
Yeah.
fingers?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's funny because between our government and my son's second grade class, they both probably had the same conclusion. Like, I don't know, can we just sweep this under the rug? Hope mom doesn't notice.
Yeah.
All right, Cuddles, take us through. Give me the whole thing. Where do you want to start?
Okay. So it happened in Ohio, in East Palestine or Palestine. The railway company is the Norfolk Southern Company.
Now, Frank, I know what you're
So-
thinking. It was not the Jewish people because I know you tend to blame them for a lot of stuff. This is
I
East
don't
Palestine
like
in
you as much
Ohio.
as I used to.
In
As much as I
Ohio.
used to like. I don't like you as much.
Yeah. Okay.
Cuddles?
Okay. So it happened right outside, actually, of the town between the border of Pennsylvania and Ohio. Now, that's important because what's going to happen, it's going to affect Pennsylvania just as much.
Right. Now, this
So
is kind of
5
close
cars.
to Pittsburgh, right? Which makes me
Yes,
feel
it's
like,
about an hour outside Pittsburgh.
why couldn't this happen in Pittsburgh? And then we could have spared the good people of Ohio.
Oh,
Who said what? Who
That's
said
not-
that
that's
either
not
are
nice.
good? Yeah,
That's not-
Pittsburgh
that's
is
not
definitely not good.
let's, well, you're
The
an idiot.
Penguins, I haven't forgotten the Islander and Penguins playoffs. so-
Steelers?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Not a Steelers fan?
Not at all. Fuck Ben Roethlisberger. Go ahead, Cuddles.
So 5 cars contain something called vinyl chloride, and that is a monomer. It's used to make PVC. So vinyl chloride is very hazardous and very flammable, like extremely. It boils at 8 degrees Fahrenheit. It is very easy to set this
Jeez.
on fire. Yes.
Can I add
So
some
it's-
expertise here for people who may
No,
not be
you have
following?
none. You have none.
Let me just say this.
Okay, go ahead.
Hazardous means not good.
Yes.
So,
The
go
more
ahead.
you know.
Yep, yeah, exactly. So it was shipped in liquid form. So it crashes, it's leaking, but it's spewing like boiling gas. So it's not good. Now OSHA, it says its permissible limit is 1 ppm, parts per million, and that's how much you should be exposed to in 8 hours, and it's beyond that. It has to be. It's bad. So prior to this, the biggest spill that this has happened like this has been in New Jersey. Not shocked.
Damn Jersey.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was only one train, and that had only 23,000 gallons spilled of the vinyl chloride, and it
Seems like
didn't
plenty.
catch fire.
Did it,
This
so it
caught
didn't leak.
fire. It leaked, but it didn't catch fire, which
That's
is totally
weird.
different than what's right. See?
All right, so this didn't catch fire as much as they set it on fire, right?
Yeah, they thought that would help. So this crashes 5 trains, and the trains can hold between 25 to 33,000 gallons per train, and that's 250 to 250,000 pounds of vinyl chloride per train. So we're talking millions. And it's just spilling into the ground, and it's just
good.
boiling off into the air.
Lovely.
Right. So now this is where it's important stuff. One byproduct of vinyl chloride burning is hydrogen chloride. Hydrogen chloride is really
That's the
unstable.
flammable stuff. Yep.
Yep. And it latches onto water vapor in our atmosphere, and that turns into hydrochloric acid.
Oh, good.
Right? It just keeps getting worse. Whoever had hydrochloric acid on the bingo sheet for 2023, start stamping.
It's only February, folks. What the hell?
Right? I don't know if it can get worse. So, I mean, it's burning. The governors of PA and Ohio say that they're burning off millions of pounds. But it was a success. This is what these people are saying.
So wait a minute. They said that burning it was fine. They did that. There was no problem with burning it.
Yeah, they're saying that it wasn't anything burning. But the thing is that like they did a press conference, and everything that they were saying, they kept referring back to, well, North Fork Railroad told us, or North Fork Railroad told us they had this in it. It's like, hey, like,
Can we get a
EPA,
scientist?
are you not, is this not your responsibility? Is this like, you don't got people working at your company like that know these things? Like, what's
How
going
does
on
this-
here?
How does this happen these days? I mean, it's on a track. We don't have this thing like locked onto these tracks. I mean, I feel like if something, it should be like the way they have. I know it's not the same thing, but like, you know how roller coasters, the wheels like hug the track, which keep it from flying off like a train. I mean, these things, I feel like we're just placing them delicately on tracks and going, all right, carry millions of gallons of fuel or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like we're not even making the effort to keep it on the track. Like how did this thing, do we know why it crashed or how it crashed or what
No,
happened?
but this is not the first time that they've had a train derail and come off in this vicinity, in this area from that company. So it's an issue, but it's not being like addressed. And this is really, really big. So now a reporter was arrested. So he was let go pretty fast, and people were like, well, what happened? Why is this happening? So the governor of Ohio was giving his like press conference. He was 2 hours late for the press conference. Now, everyone says that if they're so late, they're waiting for something. So, right? So he's giving his press conference. This reporter was the only national reporter who was there. He was released fast, and it was only because it got out that he had been arrested, and there was video, and he didn't do anything. he was giving a live report because he's been waiting for 2 hours. They didn't know what was happening. They're saying that it was all ego, that like they weren't happy that this outsider from outside of Ohio, outside of the area, was there. And now they're like, it's a liability. It's bad because at a press conference, there's a difference between they say he trespassed because he was asked to leave. If you're press, which he is, and you're at a press conference, it's different than just saying like, oh, this person is, in my grocery store. I don't want them here anymore. Like there's things you can't do. There's laws. So it's bad. So they're
Where
like,
was
he
the press
can actually
conference?
sue. Where did I put that down? It was.
I mean, because if it was at where they normally give press conferences or outside or something, but if it was in like the governor's house, maybe he could kick him out. I
No,
don't
it
know.
was like it wasn't. It was just at like a regular hall, and the supervisor was like, "No, I want you to leave." And then
I
he
mean,
was like really manhandled by the state police.
that is ridiculous. At least
Yeah,
he's out now and he's still reporting them. Hopefully.
I would hope so too because it's like a
Nobody's heard
lot.
from him for a while.
Ah,
Oh,
By the
come
way, if anybody was
on.
curious why we brought Cuddles on to report this, now you know why.
Nate, why?
So I don't get arrested.
You have to take care of our kids if I do, idiot.
It's true. I didn't think it all the way through. I just don't want to go to jail. I won't survive in jail.
let's see. Go to jail. Take care of your kids. Go to jail. Take care of your kids.
Both are pretty miserable.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you, but
Yeah,
one
what's
doesn't
the
involve butt rape.
Right.
Oh God. Please. So there's a lot more. So they're taking air samples, they're taking like water samples, and like the reporters were actually they were asking really good questions. Like what specific chemicals were they testing for at this conference? And the EPA points to the railroad and says, "Oh, just what they told us." Like, what do you mean you're just like what they told you? You're not testing for other things? Hey, when some compounds come together, they make other compounds.
Well,
Like,
hopefully they nailed all the ones that were possible in that
oh,
environment. And they've said here, these are the only 5 or so things that we're worried about because of what's in there.
yeah.
Hopefully.
So hopefully, so February 10th, the EPA sends out this letter to the Norfolk Southern Railway. So it's been happening since the 80s. If you're in like if you have like a big disaster or something and like Norfolk is at fault here, they send you out a thing and they say, "Hey, this is what's going on. What are you going to do?" And they sent it out, and in there was so many things that have not been said. So they were containing more than vinyl chloride. There was butyl acrylate, ethyl hexyl acrylate, and ethylene glycol, montabutyl ether. There was a lot of stuff on those trains.
Those sound complicated.
Right? But the thing that in this letter, it said, and this is from the EPA's letter that was sent to them, it said that all of these have been and continue to be released to the air, surface soils, and surface waters.
Yeah, it's not going to be the same for a while over there. They got to somehow neutralize it. I'm sure there's got to be a way that if there's some kind of compound, like if there's an acid, you throw on water or some kind of base to neutralize it. With something like this, I don't know what the correct combination of chemicals would be to neutralize this. But I'm sure there's someone out there that could say, "Listen, we just got to dump, thousands of gallons of blah on this, and we might be able to save
to do something," because they're finding that the materials released during the incident were observed and detected in samples from the Ohio River and 6 other lakes, rivers, runoffs, everything, and it's being found and being seen to be entering storm drains. And a lot of these compounds are known carcinogens. They're used in rubber. They're used in PVC. This is like
no, this is bad.
Yeah,
this
right?
is pretty terrible. I mean, it's it's like an oil spill where it fucks up all the water and the animals. But this is, I don't know. I feel like this is the same kind of thing. It's just it's screwing up. It goes into the ground. It's going to screw up the drinking water, the wildlife, everything that's around it, and it's going to keep running around and spreading until I don't know how you stop it. But
I know. And if it's in the air and it's on the ground, if you tell people, and they have said that like the mandatory evacuation has been lifted, and like the railroad company is like, oh, you guys can go back. You know, if you live in that area, you could go back. It's on the ground. You're going to track it into your house. If you have babies, if you have children, this is toxic to kids. Like it's because the railroad company does not want to be liable for any of this. And it'll
bad.
be 10. I'm like, where's Erin Brockovich? How do we get in touch with her?
if not the railroad company, then who's responsible?
No
it's
one. Yeah,
it's them. It's
exactly.
whoever spilled it. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, if I made the chemicals and I said, "All right, train, you take it," it's the train. It's whoever's transporting it. That's who screwed it up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it's one company who makes the product, and it's a separate company who transports it, and it's the problem with the transportation, then that's the problem. That's who's liable. And I can't imagine this being. I'm sure there's going to be lawsuits and environmental things. It's never going to end with this now. This is going to
And
be.
we still don't. They still don't know how much has already spilt out, and how much of each has burned. And they're not going to know for such a long time the extent of the damage to soil, water, to human. They're just not going to know, and that's the sad part.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of radius, but it's going to be bad for a while.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they are. Can I just say they are working on cleaning it up, and we just got this image in of some government officials working on the incident.
Oh, okay.
See?
See?
There it is.
I'm feeling confident about it. Looks like
There
they're
he is.
Exactly.
I mean,
sucking
if
it
the
all up.
shitter's full, then you gotta pump that shit out. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, but you know what's funny? I mean, Cuddles, I'm sorry if you mentioned this. If you did, I want to drill down on it. There's just an endless amount of TikTok videos today where they're just like, look at all the dead fish in these rivers and lake, right? Like all these little water runoffs. They're just like, count the dead fish in these things, and you look at that and you go, oh my god, like
this is
and
brutal.
the fish look like. Do you know how zombies look? Like they're like white and then they have all these lines. You look at the fish and you're like, what is going on? Like I understand it's dead, but it's also in water. Should it really look like a zombie fish? It's weird.
Whatever the chemicals doing to it, who knows?
Exactly. That is
So what's funny is the train crashed a week from this past Friday. This past Friday, they light the thing on fire, which is interesting because, again, and I've told you this before, any news story you want to bury, do it Friday at 6:00 and it will get buried. If you really want to bury a news story, do it on the Friday at 6:00 before Memorial Day weekend, Labor Day weekend, July 4th weekend, and the Super Bowl weekend. Like that is the time where everybody is so preoccupied with other stuff, they just will not pay attention to it whatsoever. Everybody I talked to today, I'm like, have you heard about this Ohio thing? Nobody has heard about it.
Yeah, I didn't hear about it until this show.
No, it's not on the cover of newspapers. It is, I think the New York Times finally wrote something on it at like 5:00 this afternoon. Nobody.
Well, if the New York Times went there, they would have got arrested.
That's
exactly.
True.
See?
That's true.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who's running Ohio? What's going on over there? The governor was in charge of all this stuff?
Oh, God. Anytime I hear governor, I'm like, oh, God, is it another idiot?
It used to be that guy that was almost, I thought he was going to win the primary. What was his name? Remember he came to Howard Beach and ate the pizza with a fork and a knife?
Oh.
No.
He lost the nomination to Trump. I forget his name. Is he still the governor?
Mike DeWine?
Oh, yes.
Mike
I
DeWine.
read that. Yeah.
Republican.
Yeah.
Not that
He
matters.
sounds
I'm
like a
just saying.
big dickhead.
He's a dick. If this is, I mean, you want to. This is a situation where if any governor would have been like, I got to talk to the president. We got to get it. We got to get all kinds of containment over here. We've got a major chemical leak that's going to screw up miles and miles of the
Yeah.
state and the bordering states and whatever's around, and this is going to be a huge thing. We need the federal government to come in and contain this.
Look at Teresa. I'm from Ohio and never heard of this.
Look at that.
Oh
Hopefully,
my God.
what part? Because let's see where this happened. You said it was
East
where?
Palestine.
East
The
Palestine.
town's called East Palestine. I did not know that we had an East Palestine in our country.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, who knew? I guess the folks from East Palestine. I'm looking. I'm trying to find where in Ohio East Palestine would be.
It's right on the border between them and Pennsylvania, right by Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I didn't even know those two states bordered each other until today. So we're all learning stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, there it is, literally on the border. Wow, it's like
it is. It is.
It's
That's
like a
why
mile from the
Pennsylvania.
border. Yeah, it's a mile from the border on the east coast of Ohio. So, and it's oh man, it's close to Lake Erie. This is not great.
And who knows, burning it, what you put up into the atmosphere, what you put up, it's the wind and everything. They said it was going to bring it not only towards Pennsylvania, it was going to go down south. So now you're spreading all of this all over.
Yeah, this is not going to be good.
Who signed off on this? Who told them to take a match to this?
I think, and listen, let's not jump to conclusions. Perhaps the government was thinking.
Oh, he's being a devil's advocate again.
Perhaps the government was thinking, if we burn off this toxic shit now, the aliens really won't want our planet. And that was,
that's a good theory.
I do not think aliens want to come here. They look at us and they're like, I'm not fucking with those retards down there. That's
not now. We got all the acid rain.
He's like, I don't think these people, they want nothing to do with us. I think they really laugh at us. We're like that.
If they have the intelligence to be able to travel from the planet we don't even know of yet to come here, then they're way smarter than we are. And I'm sure they don't want anything to do with us.
All right, let me rock your world a little bit. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
During the Super Bowl, there was a commercial for a movie.
Okay.
Right? The premise of the movie was we're the aliens. Humans are the aliens. Meaning on Earth. I think it was called 65. It was like 65 million years ago. We landed on the Earth and killed all the dinosaurs. We were the problem. That we didn't come from here. We came from somewhere else to here, kick the dinosaurs around.
We kicked the I feel like I saw the commercial for that, and it feels like it was what's his name? Kylo Ren.
Yes.
Adam Driver.
Soup.
He can one person wipe out the dinosaurs? Does he bring a bunch of people? Can't just be him.
Well, we are Stevie.
I thought it was like a Planet of the Apes kind of movie where he leaves Earth, gets in some kind of weird time thing, and goes and lands back on Earth, but only it's 65 million years in the past.
Maybe, and that could be an interesting twist, but I just love this concept of, hey, what if we're the aliens? Like, I don't think anybody's ever really thrown that around too much before.
That would be cool.
Right?
Except, we're not the aliens anymore. I mean, I guess we were. Where are our ships?
But this is exactly what aliens would do. We'd land, we'd kick out the current inhabitants, and then we would just overrun the planet, and then we'd drive up the temperature, kind of wreck everything, light chemical trains on fire. Like, this is exactly what aliens would fucking do.
The only flaw in that theory is if you follow the train of thought there, it would go, we land on the planet, we wipe out whatever, we populate the entire thing, and we burn out all the planet's resources. But then the next logical step was we move on to the next planet, but we don't have that capability.
Do we not? Do we
No.
not have people currently working on getting us over to Mars?
Yeah, but apparently we had it how many thousands of years ago when we landed here? And now we don't have it?
That's true.
What happened between, why did we lose? Why did we crawl? Right after we landed here, we started crawling like
I didn't write the
like
book.
Neanderthals.
Why are you giving me a hard
I'm
time?
just poking holes. Just poking holes. That's all. You
Let me think
throw
about
a
that.
premise at me, I'm gonna do.
Unless we crash the thing and then
We became morons.
we woke up
Yeah.
Crashed.
Yeah.
fighting the dinosaurs, and then all the people that fought the dinosaurs barely made it out, and then we
Yeah.
had to build the technology over again. It took a while to get there. I don't know.
Listen,
Well,
if
okay.
aliens are here and they want some people to come back with them, I am volunteering because I want off this planet.
We are the aliens, Cuddles. We are the aliens.
No, you're staying here. I
that
don't want to
doesn't
be.
inspire
No,
hope.
I
If
want
we're the
to leave.
aliens, we're screwed.
We're totally screwed.
Yeah, I'm just. I don't.
My point is, I don't
can't
think we're smart enough to be the aliens.
Mm.
I agree.
Do you think Neil Young will write another song about Ohio? This time about this instead of
I think
the shooting tragedy?
I mean, what
We
else is he
need
gonna
we
write
need
about?
Neil Young now more than we ever have before.
When was his last album?
I don't know. I don't know. It's been a
Let's
while
do
since
that.
he's had a good one. I'll tell you that.
Right. So isn't there aliens? We don't know now what's going on with that.
Well, alien. That's part 2 of this with all everything we're shooting down.
Right.
We'll get to that. Do we have anything more on the Ohio thing? Because then we got to let Cuddles go. She doesn't have time for our bullshit.
No, I think that's it. Just know, people, we need to really
Spread the word on this thing.
We do, exactly, because it's bad.
Yeah,
It's
this
bad.
doesn't
We've
seem
never
like
had
a
something
small,
like this before.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like a small problem.
Yeah, it's up there with like Deepwater Horizon, like how that was really bad. Like this is like even bad because it's like water, air, soil. It's like everything. So this is bad. Let's keep on this, and if the EPA puts out more stuff, we need to let everyone know. We need to get it out there because this is bad.
There you go. All right, share this episode then. That's how we're gonna get stuff like this around. Appreciate everybody for watching and
Yeah, and
hitting
we
the
hope
share
everyone in Ohio and Pennsylvania is okay.
Agreed.
Well, Ohio at least. Pennsylvania.
Man, you got to think about Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Well, my arch enemy moved there, and it's been downhill for them ever since.
Your arch enemy.
Evil Anthony's, we like to call Bizarro Anthony's. I like to call him.
Oh, don't call him that.
Who is this?
Our friend Anthony who moved to Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, why are you calling him your nemesis?
Yeah, I don't know. So being silly.
I thought it was okay. I thought it was someone I should have known from like years ago. Like, who the hell are you talking about?
Yeah. Oh, now shit. See, wait a second. Robin is close to the Ohio River. Now I'm concerned because there's somebody I really like now that's nearby.
Crap.
You can't
Yeah,
have
let's see.
fucking Robin going down
Boil
with
your
bad
water. Boil your water if you're
Yeah,
gonna
where's
drink
this-
it. I don't drink tap water, so I'm not like. But I don't know if my filter in my freaking refrigerator would filter out any of that shit
Yeah,
anyway.
from
so
the
I'm
ground
dead
up,
anyway.
making a great point that the Ohio River literally flows through like the majority of the
A lot of it does.
Yeah.
We're in trouble.
That's not
Yeah.
good. Yeah, the Ohio River's and it's close. It's close to that area.
Yeah. Also, from the ground up, a lot of people are saying this, and it is our second story that the UFO stuff is just being put out there to distract people from the Ohio bit.
I don't know, man. I think when
I
are you
think
gonna
it's
if not to put out the UFO thing? If you sit on the UFO story for a month, people are gonna say, "Oh, why didn't you release it earlier?" Do you know what I mean?
yeah. I'm concerned though. This is like it just seems really crazy how this has all gone down and really like sweep it under the ruggish type of behavior. And
Train
Cuddles laid it all out. It could be really bad.
Yeah. Just be careful, everybody in Ohio, Pennsylvania. I don't know what I guess I'm sure the state I'm sure there's instructions that the EPA is putting out in your area. Hopefully, maybe look for that, Google that, call up people if you're not sure, 311, whomever you have to call, and see if they could help you, because they'll know better than we would. I guess, like Cuddle said, boil your water, or get bottled stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, the really dangerous thing is the winds could like shift and we could have to deal with this in New York.
Yes.
All the important people are. So, I mean, they're really not protecting us too well.
On that note, I'm going.
All right. Thank you, Cuddles.
Thank you, Cuddles.
Thank you.
Cuddles
Bye,
filing
bye.
that story. If
Bye-bye.
the government's listening, you can arrest her, not us. I don't even know if half of what she said was true, to be totally honest with you.
I'm sure they'll take you in too.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting out of that.
Name on the podcast doesn't help.
No.
Um.
So do we have aliens or do we not have aliens?
All right. So, I mean, this is kind of a fun little way to put a headline, but the truth of the matter is this is true. I mean, this literally happened. They're talking about all these things that were shooting down out of the sky. And one of the top US generals goes, "Yeah, can't rule out aliens. Can't rule out, these unidentified objects." This is the U.S. Air Force general overseeing North American airspace. He said this on Super Bowl Sunday. His name is General Glenn Van Herk. Great name. You want a Van Herk on that wall.
General Van Herk.
General Van Herk on that wall.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. Those code reds.
He was asked whether or not he could rule out extraterrestrial origin of the 3 floating objects shot down by warplanes in the prior 3 days. And he said, "I'll let the intel community and the counterintelligence community figure that out. I haven't ruled out anything."
Well, all right. That's kind of a safe answer, though. He's not going to say, if he just flat out said, "No, it's not that." Well, then what is it? If you can't say what it's not until you have some idea of what it is. You know what I mean? Like, they're not going to say, "It's definitely not this," because what if they're wrong and they look like idiots? So they're going to say, "We don't know yet."
That's true, and I appreciate his honesty and forthright. But there's also the answer of, is this aliens? No, it's weather balloons. That's a nice answer to have.
It's a nice answer, but he's, I think people can tell it wasn't weather balloons. Like, don't we have some kind of preliminary description of these things?
Well, the problem is, and I keep saying this, even in our friends chat, one of the objects that was shot down over Lake Huron was an octagonal shaped object, this cylindrical sort of object, which is the epitome of alien discussion. I mean, it's either the UFO disc shaped thing or the more modern cone shaped object that floats standing straight up.
So was it octagonal or cylindrical or both?
Both.
I mean, so it was an 8-sided, elongated like a pipe, but like with eight edges.
Correct.
Okay, that's weird. I'm not going to say that's not weird. All right, so they shot it down. When did they shoot it down? A few days ago?
Yeah, they're shooting one down almost every day.
Okay, so my thing is, why haven't they? You shoot it down. I feel like the very next step is, let's go see what it is. Well, I mean, you shoot it down and go, we'll come back next week and check it out. I mean, I feel like they should know by now what it is.
The one that they shot down over the Carolinas or close to Myrtle Beach, it took them days to get to because it was in the water.
Fine. But when did they shoot this thing down?
The last one they shot down was Sunday.
Yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Although I could have sworn maybe there was one today. I don't know. And I can't remember. I got a lot of articles here. Let me see if I can find it.
But this was over Lake Huron?
Lake Huron, yes.
Okay. So the thing lands in the lake. They send teams out to get it. I'm sure they're still, all right, maybe it sank to the bottom of the lake, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to retrieve
Well, you got currents to deal with. You got a lot of stuff going on there.
Currents, yeah, a little bit of weather. Who knows?
Wind.
It's cold out there. I guess.
Yeah. Now, here's this. Let me throw this nugget onto the old fireplace.
Throw some nuggets.
Everybody's going, well, it's China, it's China, it's China. China says, and take this for what you will, because I know a lot of people won't take China at their word. But China says that it has shot down at least 10 balloons in its airspace since 2022, most of which believed to be U.S. balloons illegally entering their airspace.
What the hell are we doing with balloons? I'm sorry, but I think as I'm talking about the whole world, I feel like haven't we advanced far beyond the balloon by now?
Right,
What are
but
we doing with?
I think what you're discounting too much here is they're cheap. They don't expect to get these things back. So when you
Yeah,
throw a balloon up there, you can let it go and it goes and you record all the information it's filming and then you're done. If
yeah,
it doesn't come back, you're
fine.
fine with it.
I get that, but you also have to take an account like if I'm, the government and I want to send a balloon to China, I don't want China knowing I'm doing that, right? Presumably.
Presumably.
Okay, so if I'm done with balloon, wouldn't you put like a self-destruct or a return or crash into the ocean or something that makes it so that these balloons aren't easily like because you said, all right, if it doesn't come back or you're done with it and it's cheap, yeah, fine, but you still don't want it being discovered. I feel like these things are gigantic and ordinary citizens are spotting them. This isn't like a high altitude a satellite that nobody could see with the naked eye and blah blah blah. So a balloon, I feel like, is just number one, it's very primitive. Number two, there's no exit strategy.
Yeah.
And whomever sends it, you're gonna get caught. Because even when you're done with it and it crashes or it just stops reporting to you, we're gonna see it. We saw them. Now we know. I mean, didn't you? I feel like somebody in the balloon planning room didn't go, "Hey, wait a second. They're gonna catch these balloons. They're gonna see them. They're gonna know we're doing this. Maybe we come up with something a little more inconspicuous. Maybe shape one like a cloud. I don't know. What are we doing here?
I don't know.
Why don't you just send a thing that says we're spying on you over? It doesn't make any sense to me that they would do that. I feel like it's too obvious. Doesn't it seem that way?
By the way, the U.S. is denying that China said denying what China said about the 10
that we sent balloons.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, that we're sending balloons over. What if we're not? What if this is all kinds of weird alien activity?
I feel like there's a lot of people that go, when I can't explain something, it's probably aliens.
Mm-hmm.
I think could this be some schmuck just living out somewhere, just making giant balloons and sending them off?
Yeah, it absolutely could be some schmuck.
He snaps a GoPro camera to it and says, "You know what? I'm just sending balloons out. I'm the balloon guy. And this is where I'm doing them."
Why not? We got a new schmuck every day doing something schmucky. So
this sounds like a schmuck idea. This doesn't sound like a government thing. This sounds like some schmuck.
Mm.
That's just my opinion. It could be the government. It could be China's government sending these balloons. I'm sure it is. I'm sure they know what they're doing. I'm sure the government saw these balloons, shot them down, and said, "Yeah, China's screwing with us," and they know what they're talking about. But from a standpoint of we're light years ahead of balloon technology, why would we do that? Why would any government send balloons?
Well, listen to what Van Herk had to say about that. He said the military has been unable to immediately determine the means by which any of these three latest objects were kept aloft or where they were coming from. He said, we're calling them objects, not balloons, for a reason. The shoot down over Lake Huron followed the U.S. takedown of two other unidentified objects over Alaska and Canada on Friday and Saturday, respectively. So this is not even the one that we know it was a balloon that was shot over Myrtle Beach. Van Herk said the three most recent objects were, quote, very, very small and moved at slow speeds.
So they could be some kind of drone, right? It doesn't have to be a balloon.
Yeah, but they're saying from what people are witnessing, like from what people are saying in some photographs, not a drone.
Right. I mean, they say balloon because it's big and round. It doesn't mean it's a something filled with air that's floating around. It could be some kind of vessel, some kind of. It could be anything.
Mm-hmm.
It just looks like a balloon. Paul with the super chat. Trump administration repealed Obama regulations for trains with hazardous chemicals. Yeah, he repealed a ton of shit. A lot of the over the 4 years was we're deregulation. That was I feel like a huge catchphrase of his. Deregulation. We got rid of a lot of regulations. Yeah, the regulations were there for a reason. Safety, and we got rid of all the regulations. Now business is free to do whatever they want. Blah blah blah. Well, when you get rid of regulations, so that's what I was never. Everybody's it's deregulating everything. It's like, well, why? We've come this far with regulations for a reason. We saw that there's problems. We set up regulations so that they don't become major problems. I mean, once you take those away and you get anything goes kind of stuff, we go backwards. Everything he did just set shit backwards, man. And I feel like the only reason he did it was because there were Obama's regulations.
Well, that's not entirely true. I mean, it's a famous Republican thing to deregulation opens up more business opportunities. That's a prime conservative directive.
For a while there, everything he was doing was just rolling back Obama stuff. He just executive order after executive order after executive order, not reworking it, not improving it, not adding, making it better, changing it. It was just get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it. Let's repeal this. We're repealing this. I feel like he was just out there with a pencil going, up, we're erasing this one, we're erasing this one. And it just, nobody stopped and went, whoa, you get rid of these regulations, people are going to get hurt.
Yeah. I remember talking about, I forget what it was, but I remember saying this on the podcast too. I believe this was Trump's thing. They're going to repeal 2 out of 3 regulations. Whatever it was, I forget what it was, but it was such a blanketed thing. And I just remember thinking that is far too vague. Like, I understand there's a lot of red tape and we could really probably look at a lot of things and make some choices, but be like, we're going to repeal 2 out of 3 regulations, federal regulations, because we need to open up business, just felt a smidge too much on the broad side.
Number one, it's irresponsible too. Just to do a blanket thing of that, why wouldn't you go regulation by regulation and go, this one, maybe we could tweak it. It felt like it was just a clean sweep of just get rid of the regulations.
Yeah, it would just take too long. But
but when that happens, you get train crashes with toxic chemicals.
Yeah, but it's easier when you're on the campaign trail to be like, I'm knocking 2 out of the 3 regulations out. That's it. And it sounds nice. It goes into a nice little sound bite. By the way, Epstein list still coming. They're saying towards the end of the month, within the month, whatever it is.
Wow, you were saying last time you're saying months, but now it's towards the end of the month. So
yeah, I think so. I'm thinking end of this month, early next month. By the way, this came from the Navy Polaris of one of the objects. You could see it right there. I don't know.
I mean, a blurry dot with a white dot on it. That's what I see. I mean, doesn't really give us much.
It's not, and that's a Navy photo. So, listen, I don't know. Here's the thing:
is that an iPhone or a Samsung? What are we talking about here?
I think it's a Samsung Flip.
Samsung's cameras are better than iPhones.
But yeah, I don't know. Since this has all been happening, they have just been getting flooded with photographs and videos and all sorts of stuff.
So a lot of witnesses of this thing. Okay.
Listen, let's be honest. Wouldn't this be the fuckery of all time that we just get over a goddamn global pandemic and now this is going to be finally a brush with, I mean, could you fucking imagine
a brush with what?
Aliens? If this was
this is real, it's like so you're thinking, what if this is a being from another planet?
No, I'm not saying it being from another planet. It could be
or a probe from another planet.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but it seems awfully suspicious that we've had to shoot down 3 distinctly different things that we don't know what the hell they are 3 days in a row. And nobody from the Pentagon or the government is giving us the "don't be ridiculous" answer.
Well, I
Is that an
think if you
alien? Don't be ridiculous.
well,
It,
that sounds strategic to me. If as soon as you say that, the next question is, well, how do you know? And if there's people around and they have to recover it and whatever, I feel like the strategic way to do it is let's investigate it and see what it is, and then in a few days it'll be no, it was just a piece of tech or something and blah blah blah, because my knee jerk reaction to this is it's some other country's tech that we don't know about. That's a gut feeling I get when we've been shooting down stuff that we don't know what it is. I feel like all that means is that it's not ours.
yeah, that's true. It
It's
could
not
be
from this
nothing.
country.
It could be nothing.
It could be nothing. I feel like it's probably tech from another country that they're testing, and it just maybe it went off course. Maybe you know, who the hell knows? I don't think it's. I mean, I'd love it I'd love for it to be aliens, but I feel like
Can I say
that's
something?
a jump to a conclusion.
I wouldn't. I'm over
You
it.
don't want it to be.
I don't know if I want to see aliens in our lifetime. I really don't.
Why not?
I'm kind of over. It's very unsettling. It's like I feel like we went through a real rocky 3 years here, and like I would love just 10 years of peace and quiet. I would not want to be like, oh, we have to deal with we couldn't handle wearing masks or not. Now we're gonna have to tackle. Should we talk nice to the aliens? Should we attack the aliens?
I 100% think human beings, as human beings, we're just going to screw it up. Whatever this is, if it's aliens, the first time we meet aliens, it's going to be a complete disaster. It's not going to be handled in a diplomatic way. That's why I feel like, I know it's a stupid show and it's a cartoon, but in Futurama,
oh boy,
it's 1,000 years from now, but the Earth is all together as one. There's a one flag for the entire Earth, and it
sounds like fiction. Go ahead.
I know, but it's 1,000 years from now, and because they did that because we were, you know, there's other planets and other beings. So if we're all divided and fighting with each other, what if the alien lands here, gives us its tech? Alien lands in Russia, gives Russia all its tech, and now they're advanced, and you know, so it becomes this big thing. So if we're all on the same page, at least, you know, we're as one, you know, species, just on the same team. It's a pipe dream, but you know, that would be when we're ready to meet aliens. I don't think we're ready now. You know what I mean? We're too divided to meet aliens right now.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if we could ever. I just don't know what makes us less divided moving forward. I don't know.
I know. It's so ridiculous when it's the stupidest things that people could just yell at the top of their lungs about, like masks or like the vaccine or like this and that. It's like, just fucking, I can't. Why is everything such a fucking fight against each other?
I'm going to say this and people are going to hate it, but it's the truth. If the aliens are coming, I hope they just wipe us off the fucking planet. Just take us out, because everything else will be a slow, miserable march to death.
You're a very pessimistic person. Yes, what if they come here and they give us the cure for everything? Or they come here and they give us the tech, you know, and they share with us the technology to advance, you know, 1,000 years where we, you know.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Technology.
That's our only hope, because you have to think that if a species is going to figure out a way off of their planet and travel billions of light years away, they're coming for only one of two reasons. One, they need resources, and they got guns and they're ready to take whatever to survive. Or two, they've reached such a state of enlightenment that they want to spread it around to the rest of the galaxy, universe, whatever the hell you want to believe in.
Well, I think there's a third option.
Go ahead.
Exploring. They're just out
curious,
discovering. And maybe like what we're doing. What we're doing is we're exploring. Like we're going to Mars to see how, you know, what it would be like. You know, we're going back to the moon just to explore and see what's up. I think if they come here, they could be like, well, they would come here going, we discovered a new species. They're called humans and blah, blah, blah. We discovered all these things on this planet. And it's like maybe that becomes a shared, back and forth. We're between two planets. We start.
Can I say this?
Hmm.
I blame you for all of this. Mostly my attitude.
I see that.
Here's why. You got me into that stupid show, The Last of Us. Is that what it's called? I can't even remember.
But that's not aliens.
No, but it's made me very
pessimistic.
Not so much pessimistic, but okay. In this show, global pandemic, much worse than what we just had in real life. And now these people who are not infected with this thing are roaming around and they're running into other people who are not infected and they're shooting each other because no one can be trusted. And you look at this and you go, yeah, how could you trust one person from the other? And you see them not trust and kill, and then you see them kind of trust, and where that eventually winds up. So it's like the whole thing is like you can't like aliens coming here, us going to alien. Like I had this conversation with my wife the other night. She goes, if we're and most people feel this way. This is the God's honest truth. They go like this. We're the United States. If we're spying on you, it's for everybody's safety. But if another country's spying on us, it's because they want to do something bad. And I explained to her, and I believe this to be true, every country thinks they're doing it for the right reasons. And every country thinks that they can't trust us.
I don't think that's 100% true.
That's 1,000,000,000% true.
Because, not 100%. I think that's mostly true. But I think there are some countries that do it because they want to expand their reach, their grasp. Like, for example, just take Russia. I think the people of Russia I think the general population of Russia have no problem with Americans in America for the most part. I think they know where they're living is run by a dictator, and he is spying on America to get the edge on us, to have some sort of edge. I don't think it's for his people's safety as much as it's for how much of the world can I take advantage of.
Right, but you think when China spies on us, they're doing it, I think they're doing it for the same reason that we're doing it, to find out what's going on over there.
Yeah.
And to keep our eye on the shit.
We just got to keep, it's all a matter of keeping up with each other. Who's in the lead technology-wise, and who's got the advantage, and who at any moment, because you don't know which country could be planning to do something to another country out of nowhere. I have no idea,
I'm just saying, like every country that is skeptical of us will always go back to the same thing of who was the only country to drop a nuclear bomb, and that would be us. Yeah. No other country has ever done that.
I agree.
So I think when other countries spy on us, they go, well, you really can't be trusted because you dropped a nuclear bomb. Whereas we sit here and we go, we would never do that ever again. And we only did it out of necessity the one time 1/2 times we did it. You can't you just don't know. You can't trust the other side. And it's the same thing in this fucking show that you put me onto that's fucking up in my head. And it would be the same thing if aliens showed up here.
But it's not 100% true. Like, because people in this show, they form groups where they can trust each other. You got this guy and this kid. They didn't know each other before. Now all of a sudden they're like, it's like a father-daughter relationship. Yeah. And they meet other people, and they get to, it's scary. You don't know who you're dealing with. But then they get to know other people, and it becomes, so you don't know what you're running into until you're there.
Okay, listen to me. Can we talk about this quickly?
Well, what are you up to?
Episode 5. Was it episode 5?
Yeah, that aired Friday.
That came out. Did you watch it?
I did.
Okay. It was more sad than episode 3 that you cried over.
You're nuts.
You're nuts.
Okay.
I really think, should we do a review? Should we do a whole dedicated episode to The Last of Us? Because the show has got me. It's It's got its grips on me. I can't even.
It's a good show, isn't it?
The whole it's taken over my entire life.
I mean, I think it's I know we're only 5 episodes in, but I'm enjoying this way more than any Sopranos episode.
Can I tell you, I have an uneasy feeling about the world because of this show. Like I'm uncomfortable walking
based
around.
on a video game, right?
Yeah, and that pisses me off even more. I'm like, how did they look at this video game and go, I know?
This was very sad. It was a sad thing to see.
It was horrific.
It was terrible.
I think it was by far. I don't know if J Sab's watched it. I would love to get her opinion on. That's why I think we need to do a dedicated thing just for the stupid Last of Us. I thought it was far worse than that episode 3. I would love to get people's opinions on it if they're watching it.
Oh, I don't know if it was. I mean, it was sad, but it was such a. They were always in danger, so there was always the chance of stuff happening. I don't want to give any spoilers away.
Yeah.
But in the 3rd episode, they were together and happy, and everything was good, and it was just a very. I don't know. It was a very different dynamic where we got to know them through the whole episode, and we got to see 20 years of their lives. This was very sad, absolutely 100%. It just felt like they were always in danger, and there was always a slim chance of them getting out of this, and this and that. And spoiler alert, sorry, spoiler. But I didn't give anything away.
No, I don't think you gave anything away.
I'm just saying, there's in every episode there's going to be people getting killed, people not getting killed, people getting away, people not getting away. But this, I don't know. It was very sad.
Here we go. Great question from Paul. Is The Last of Us filmed in Ohio? I think so.
It could be.
Feels like
probably
it
where it
nowadays.
Starts.
Yeah,
I think that's ground zero for.
Yeah, what were we gonna say?
Outbreak.
Sound like you were gonna make an important point.
No, I think it's just there's a difference in the episodes because there was a certain suddenness to it, and in the other episode there was a build up, and it kind of got your emotions going with this. One guy was sick, and all this stuff was happening, and they were just living and being happy with each other. In this episode, the people in question were either almost starving or were always under some kind of. They were miserable and being terrorized, and it was, you know what I mean? They were always not safe, and there were always something going to happen to them, and it just seemed like, yes, very sad, absolutely sad, but it was a weird out of nowhere kind of thing, because I feel like it could have been avoided. Some of it not that it didn't make sense, but some of it was a little bit. I'll talk to you after about it.
Okay.
Some of it was like.
I just feel like episode 5 was the greatest written example of Shakespearean timing since fucking Shakespeare invented that shit. Like, the whole thing of like, you think, and again, I don't want to spoil, so slight spoiler here, but you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And the whole time you're just like, fuck, are we going to make it there? And then I won't say what happens, whether we make it there or not, but just what transpires to me was so much more emotional and heartbreaking than episode 3. I don't know. It just fucked me up a little bit more.
No, it was definitely fucked up, and it was super sad, and it took me off guard, and I was very like, whoa, what's going on here? And it's just like, it was kind of, but.
And also how much doubt it casts into the future of what whole thing has been sort of building up around.
Yeah.
With the little girl. All right, let's stop.
Kinda. But if you watch there's a little more, when you watch scenes from next week, there's a little more that they talk about that. What you're talking about.
Feels like, should we go live Sunday night? When does it come out? Sundays
at 9 is the live, which I never catch. I always catch when they put it on HBO Max.
When do they make you wait a day, or does it come out on HBO Max at 9?
I'm not sure. I always catch it the next night, but
all right,
I don't know when they put it on.
We don't have to lock anything in place, but is this a White Lotus situation where we
Could be.
fucking jump on?
I mean,
and
we're
do
at the very beginning of it. We could start, getting on the ground floor of this thing.
Yeah.
That would be
I
cool.
will tell you, your whole it's better than the Sopranos thing is fucking batshit crazy. But I will
Oh,
say
you're nuts.
it is pretty.
You just
compelling.
compared it to Shakespeare.
Well, it's compelling television. It's really good. I'm saying it's really good. It's just not the Sopranos.
it's. I mean, the Sopranos isn't Shakespeare.
Well,
It's
but you know what's
fucking
great
mafia
about
guys?
fucking mafia guy. You know what's great about the Sopranos though is its rewatchability. I don't know if I will ever rewatch this show.
Yeah, no, that I agree with that, but I think there's certain episodes like I mean we're only five episodes in. I don't know how many episodes they're going to be doing in total. Maybe there are a bunch that are rewatchable. I don't think every episode of The Sopranos is rewatchable.
Not the one where they go to Paris. That one's fucking
That was
brutal.
fucking terrible.
Who gives a shit?
That was the worst.
The worst. I literally think Edie Falco was just like, if you don't send me to a foreign location for filming, I'm fucking quitting. And they're like, all right, shit, let's write this Paris thing.
Right.
Keep Edie happy.
That was
I'm not against. I'm all for keeping Edie happy. I mean, if that kept her on the show and good, then fine, I'll sit through it. But I'm just saying.
No. See, it's different. If they did that kind of crap nowadays, but they released the entire season, then I could almost deal with the Paris episode. But it was like you had to wait 7 days. Then you get a Paris episode and you go, what the fuck was that? Now you got to wait another 7 days for the next one. And it's like, forget that.
Frank and I were arguing about The Sopranos, like jumping the shark or whatever. And we're arguing over, I don't know if you remember this in cards. And he literally goes, what's all the fucking Paris shit? And I was like, all right, you got me there. I can't fucking
check and mate.
Yeah, I can't defend the Paris stuff. Anyway. All right, let's move on to another television topic. Rihanna lip syncing.
I watched it. I didn't think she was lip syncing. I think there were a lot of backing tracks. I think there was, her voice kind of low before, in the background.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry.
No, you hit it. You're fucking nailing it right on the head. You're right. I don't understand all these people that are crying about this is the worst lip syncing job ever. Like these people never heard of singing to a backing vocal before. I feel like that's common knowledge.
Yeah, you have her voice singing, Umbrella a couple of times in the background as like an echo, and then she puts her voice on top of it live. And that's just the way. I mean, if you go to her concert, it's probably like that. She's not going to sing with no other voices around.
Right.
She's going to come out there and sing, and they're going to have pre-recorded her going Umbrella, Ella, and then she's going to sing on top of it.
Right. Now, when I started watching it, I go, oh, great. She's singing to a backing vocal. Because if you know anything about the Super Bowl, it's most of the time, most of the artists are not confident enough to actually sing live, and they will just lip sync to a track, i.e. Britney Spears. I can say this now because hopefully Janine's not watching. But a lot of artists...
Oh, there she is.
Shit. A lot of artists do that stuff. There was when the Red Hot Chili Peppers, who I love, they go, fucking Flea's guitar's not even plugged into anything.
Plugged in.
There's not even like a fake thing that looks like it might be plugged into some remote thing. Nothing.
That's hilarious.
They were just faking. Yeah. So when I heard her singing to a backing vocal, I'm sitting there going, good for her. She's got the balls to go live. Then the next day, I got to hear all these fucking shitheads going, worst lip syncing job ever. Do you not fucking know what the hell is going? Like, she should be
been to a live show.
Yeah. She should be applauded for stepping in front of 60 million people or wherever people watch this fucking thing and going, no, I'm going to do it live. Oh, and by the way, I'm fucking pregnant. I'm going to do it
by
live.
the way, I'm suspended 200 feet in the air on 4 wires.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's balls, man.
Suspended in a ridiculous height that I would have shit myself in front of people.
On a clear platform, we could see right through it.
Yeah, she's fucking pregnant as fuck. And she's out there doing all the choreography and everything else. And it's like, and now we're going to say she's got the worst lip syncing.
I enjoyed
People should be apologizing to fucking Rihanna and kissing her feet, thanking her for what she had to do.
I enjoyed it. There were no special guests that I remember, right? There was just her for the whole thing.
Which I love. Wait, hold on a second. I don't know if this is Janine. Hold on. This might be a... We might be getting hacked here, Frank. I'm not sure.
No, this is me.
Okay, all right. Was it the Britney Spears thing?
It was the Britney Spears comment. I'm walking around and I hear this bullshit. And I said, you know what? Fuck you guys. I just have to come in and say something.
Hey, I didn't say it. It was
That's
Anthony.
true, you didn't. No, here's the thing. Aren't they all pre-recorded but done live, if that makes sense?
Well, that's basically what a backing. Well, no. Here's the difference. If they'll record. Some people, if they're lip syncing, they'll sit there day before in the atmosphere or whatever, and they'll record it, and then the next day they'll go, or that morning, like the Thanksgiving Day parade, they'll fucking hammer that out day before, morning, whatever it is.
Thanksgiving parade, I feel like they just pop in the CD and they play the CD.
Yeah,
and I don't think they do any kind of live recording.
Correct. What a backing vocal is it's different entirely. Meaning
it's like having background singers. That's all.
It could be like a background singer. It could be the lower harmony of the thing, which it was in her particular case, because you heard the drop off from her actually singing the line to where it was being backed up. Most of what's recorded on a CD or streaming or whatever on the studio recording has multiple layers of somebody's voice in it anyway, which is a common thing.
Right. Well, I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again, but I didn't think she was lip syncing, and I don't think that she sounded amazing for people to be like, oh yeah, she definitely lip sync, if you know what I mean. It wasn't
I thought her voice was as close as she sounds normally. I thought she sounded great.
You're right. It was good. It didn't sound like she recorded in a studio, but it sounded good.
But then
again, it sounded really good.
Rihanna is that prototypical good singer, great entertainer. Some people are great singers and good entertainers.
Yeah.
Like Adele is a great singer and pretty good entertainer.
Yeah.
Right. But I think Rihanna, she the only thing I would say is that she didn't have as much energy, but she was also pregnant. She was out there, she didn't do all the dance moves because she couldn't run around like the other guy, like the people around there were.
I'm going to have to stop you right there, because all these people saying today it was boring and she had low energy.
Listen, no, I didn't think it was boring at all.
I thought she is pregnant, and
I just said that.
No, I know.
I just said she was pregnant.
I agree with you.
So it's totally fine. It's understood. I get it.
But the thing was too, she didn't really make it known that she was pregnant before. So I think if she would have let people know she was pregnant before, I don't think there would have been as much backlash.
I knew as soon as they put the camera on her, though. I was like,
well, that's what made it great. Well, okay, let me say this. Two things first. One, I'm gonna say something that's most people probably missed, and you're gonna be like, holy shit, I didn't even realize. That's one. Two, did you guys do, and I'd love to know in the chat, the same thing that Cuddles and I did, which is we're watching it and we see the little tummy, and Cuddles was like, oh, good for her. She's out there with the baby weight. She's not ashamed of it. And I was like, yeah, I think she fucking looks hotter that way. And then she's like, it has been a while though, I think. And then she had to look up when she had the baby, because everybody just kind of assumed she just had it, but it was last year. May. Yeah. So then it was like, holy shit, is she pregnant again? And I feel like everybody kind of went down that same path.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, I thought she had the baby a while ago, and I went, oh, she's pregnant again.
Oh, all right, that's interesting.
As soon as I saw her, I was like, and then she kind of stuck her belly out a little bit and kind of like put her, like she was presenting her belly, like at the first thing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, she's showing off that she's pregnant. Good for her. That's great. And it was kind of highlighted almost. And then I noticed as she was performing that she wasn't doing all the moves, and I was like, yeah, get it, totally.
Yeah.
She's pregnant. She's not going to be running around, jumping off the stage and stuff.
Right.
Okay. Now, did you notice this? And please share this episode if you are amazed by this fact. Did you realize that the whole performance was like a subtext to her getting pregnant? Because she was in red, the egg.
Yep.
Oh, and all the white.
And all the white dancers, if you notice, they're all kind of swimming around her in the beginning. In the middle of the performance, they all come together with her. And then when she goes back up on the thing, she's wearing another huge coat because she got
Look at
inseminated.
that.
Wow.
You see that?
Actually, someone I follow, an IVF doctor. Well, she also does other things. She posted that last night. And she was like, "Oh my God, does anybody
Why do you have
else
to?
see
Why
this?"
couldn't it be my fucking thing? You got to make
I'm
it
sorry.
a whole.
I had to
steal
take that
my
away
thunder.
from you.
Well, you thought like a doctor did. How's that? Does that make you feel better?
Thanks.
Okay, go back, take this out. Go back and take this out. Oh wait, you
Yeah.
can't.
Too bad it's live.
Yeah,
No, that's good. I mean, listen, an IVF doctor should be on top of something like that. They should recognize that right away.
Yeah, I thought it was good. And one of the sperm hands her a microphone. That was good. I didn't get the. I mean, maybe that's here's the baby's voice and here's the. It was very good though. Yeah. Now I can't watch it now without thinking of sperm and an egg.
And also, their song choice kind of went that way too. Because if you look at it, it was like, bitch better have my money. She's kind of out on her own. Then it's like she gets into like rude boy and meeting the guy, and then it's, I forget which one it was like about hooking up, and then eventually goes into shine bright like a diamond, which is
Yeah. Umbrella. You could. What was it? You could something under my. Then she did do Umbrella.
These two jerks. I'm on it for a minute. Oops, I forgot. I didn't mute that.
Hey.
My husband's like, who is that? And I'm like, oh, it's these two jerks. Sorry.
So why aren't you on with us?
Because I'm a very busy person and I was doing things, and then I heard you talk badly about my girl, so I had to stop and say, you know what, guys? Bitch better have my money.
By the way, are you surprised that she opened with that one? I didn't think she would
am.
do that one because of the language in it.
Did you also notice the dance move where she tapped her Dolores and then she smelled her finger?
I did notice that. Yeah, I didn't think that was that crazy. I mean, she did the whole Michael Jackson thing where they put
exactly. That's how I took it. I was like, oh, it's just a dance move. I get it.
But now my daughter's been doing it the whole day.
Oh well.
Just kidding.
I thought it was more when she grabbed her own ass, and like lifted her cheek up a little bit.
Right.
That was a one move, but I took it all in. I was like, oh, she's dancing. And then I go on social media. Oh, I wish this could be more kid friendly. A lot of for some reason the politicians have to come out and be like, oh, fuck it.
Give me a goddamn. I can't fucking stand all of them. They're all. And I know somebody just brought up Trump. I refuse to talk about him in this scenario.
Good.
He doesn't give a shit. He didn't fucking watch it. He's just shitting on her because she shat on him a while ago. And then everybody,
kiss his ass, you get shit on.
Then AOC. Wait, hold on. Let me go to my Twitter because I made notes. Fucking AOC and her stupid face, and everybody's shitting themselves because Elon sat with Rupert Murdoch like he's this grand conspiracy that he's a fucking Republican. And so what if he is? I couldn't stand people for that. And then I couldn't stand Marjorie Taylor Greene and her stupid fucking face. Because she's like, oh, why do we don't, there's only one national anthem. We don't need two national anthems. And everybody's all upset because they sang a fucking song before.
Go fuck yourself.
America.
I can't
just
stand
shut the fuck up. Like, can't I just have my fucking Super Bowl with my wings and the commercials and the game without
it's a Super Bowl, Marjorie Taylor
on
Greene.
it?
You don't make the rules. They'll sing what they want. They'll sing whatever. It's not up to you. Go fuck yourself.
Can't you just sit there in peace? Maybe your wife gave you a little handy underneath a blanket,
Thank you. Without people butting in their thing. Oh, I can't believe you see it. Shut up. It's
feet away. What?
It's a football game.
It's the same thing with Christmas, and everybody has to have their little fucking. Can't we just have Christmas?
Well,
without people injecting their politics into it.
Don't cancel Christmas.
I just fucking hate it. I fucking hate it. Everybody's like, oh, see, and it's like, and AOC, this is why people hate liberals. And then I keep scrolling on Twitter, and I'm sorry, it wasn't Marjorie Taylor Greene. It was Lauren Boebert. America only has one national anthem. You shut the fuck up too, in your stupidity.
She's annoying.
I can't fucking stand all of them.
Wait,
they're all assholes.
Before I go, are you going to talk about what's his name's brother and how annoying he is? Or no?
Yeah, let's talk. Yeah,
It's like I gotta go.
Mahomes' brother. So he's another one. They
Oh, I
fucking.
don't know this.
He's an asshole. His father's kind of an asshole. His wife is kind of an asshole.
What
He
happened? I
was.
don't know this.
He was in the what was the thing? Oh, I saw him. Mahomes was doing an interview and he was jumping around in the background like a dick.
So what happened with his brother?
There is a very strong dislike for him on Twitter.
Yeah,
because
What happened with his brother?
the brother keeps doing the same TikTok song and dance. He's just very annoying.
and the father, they had the father on social media like 2 seconds after lighting a cigar in celebration. It's all very irritating. The whole Mahomes family. Very
Agreed.
fucking.
All right.
Very-
So they're just off-putting. They're not.
Yeah, they're
doing
just
anything.
They're just
They're not
big,
doing anything with controversial. They're just being very bad at entertaining.
huge assholes. Like, and he was doing. There wasn't. What was he doing? Like one of this with the TikTok dance.
Yeah.
He's doing the TikTok dance in the end zone while the fucking trophy ceremony is going on. Your brother won. You're useless.
It's not about you, you piece of crap. Go celebrate him.
Nobody likes you. Go put the camera on him and be like, "Congratulations, bro. Proud of you."
Right.
He's out there dancing on the fucking field like he caught a pass.
Yes, Paul. I'm with you on that.
Be honest though, Frank, your brother would do that.
No, he wouldn't.
Yeah.
Our brother's gonna make TikToks and dance around. No.
Yeah.
And when Anthony and I were in high school playing hockey, we were winning game. My brother was there and he was recording the whole thing. He was very supportive. He didn't make anything about him. It was very go guys, go Malloy, and go that whole thing.
In fact, he was so passionate about it. I remember pulling him aside and saying, "You can't record us with a video camera in the dressing room while we're naked. It's going to wind up on the internet and it's going to become a whole big thing. We're only 17.
Not good.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the FBI got him to stop doing that though. So that was good. That was a positive.
That's good.
Anyway, so that was Rihanna. I bet you nobody saw that coming. I want to give her credit for this too, on top of not lip syncing and singing to a backing vocal and actually singing, which drives me crazy that most people aren't going to give her credit for that, which they should. She used the entire fucking field. Like when you looked at the end of that, there was dancers down at the end zone and the 10-yard line, fucking 40 yards away from where she was dancing and doing like she or somebody on her team had to be like, no, we have to use the entire field as a stage, which I give her credit for because not a lot of artists do that.
Right.
No,
she did use the whole thing. And I don't know if there's a record for how many dancers, but she had a few hundred, right?
Ton of dancers. And give her credit for being like, who's your special guest going to be? And she goes, fuck that. I don't need anybody. I will carry this shit myself.
That's it. And it was entertaining. I liked it. I had no problem with it.
I thought it was really good too. And I'll tell you what, I'm a little bit of a softie. Like I said, my daughter loves Rihanna. And this was like the first time I think, like, 'cause she likes Rihanna because she did the soundtrack for that cartoon Home.
Oh, okay.
So this is the first time where she was like looking at like the performer singing. And she was like, kind of like wide-eyed and enamored with the whole thing, and it was just like kind of nice to see like her being like, holy shit, like this is like a real perform, which also made me excited for her singing because you could be like, yeah, she's really actually singing,
right?
She's really doing it and she's doing a great job of it.
I didn't think for a second that she was lip syncing.
If she wasn't off key at all, and again, she's not the best singer in the world, she's a good singer, all things considered, and she did a really good job singing with it. And like, you can tell because she wasn't like always here or covering her thing. Like she put it down and you heard the backing vocal. She wasn't ashamed of it. That wasn't a mistake.
No.
She assumes that everybody knows what a backing vocal is.
Yeah. People don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
For the most part.
You're right.
All right. What's next?
All right. We're up against it. Let's move on. Oh, Super Bowl commercials. Do you want to talk about the commercials?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Worst year ever for Super Bowl commercials.
There weren't a lot of good ones.
Hands down. Like, answer this question. We can talk about it now. What's the Super Bowl commercial you think we're going to be talking about 10 years from now from this Super Bowl?
I don't even know.
Not one of them.
Yeah, there was nothing that really stood out. The only thing, I mean, and people kind of called it weird and awkward, was the John Travolta one with the guys from Scrubs.
Horrific.
Yeah, I mean, what was the other one? I missed the Clueless one.
Whenever I see John Travolta, I just can't help but think to myself, he likes his dick to be scratched with a comb by a man. That's all I can think about
What?
when I see John Travolta.
What is that?
Yeah, remember like there was those rumors that he was gay years ago, and it was because he was getting like
Sure.
massages and he was getting his dick fucking graded.
I don't know. I don't know about that part.
Yeah.
I heard all the other stuff, but not the comb stuff. I don't know
Mhm.
what that means.
Or with a
Okay.
cheese grater. I forget what it was, but it was fucking weird. I remember thinking at the time, this is weird. I don't like this.
Yeah, no, that was a weird one. I liked some of the movie, previews, but I think the best one was probably the Flash. I mean, not a big fan of the actor, but Batman, Michael Keaton was in it.
Okay, I thought that was great, but here's my thing. How many times are we going to go to the fucking string theory well now? I mean, how many times are we going
I
to
know.
do
Well, Marvel did it, so now DC has to do it.
now DC has to do it, which I love. And listen, they're tugging at my heartstrings because Michael Keaton returning as Batman. All right, you got my fucking
Yeah,
$13.
that's magic.
Yeah, I'm there. But you're beating a dead horse at this point. That well is starting to run dry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. But then you got the old Ant-Man, Quantum Mania, that kind of thing. It's the same
Yeah, listen, they got my money
screwing
too.
around with time and all that.
But we're I don't know. I don't know. And that whole Flash thing, that guy's in a lot of fucking trouble.
That guy's a mess.
But it makes sense now that they kept that because as the new guy, was his name Gunn, whatever the fuck his name is, the guy who just took over DC, as he's like, yeah, we're canceling everything, but we're gonna fucking keep that Flash movie. I was like, what's happening in that Flash movie? And it should definitely be canceled. And they're going through with it, and now we know why. It was fucking Michael Keaton returning as Batman. That's all anybody's gonna see.
That's the only reason to go see that.
But here's the thing, like in all those, like when you talk about going back, spoiler alert, sorry, the Spider-Man movie where they did that shit, they kept that pretty fucking quiet right up until that was released.
And I thought they did it really well, that one.
Pretty well. And DC's all like, hey guys, look at us, we're doing the same thing. Come on over here.
Look over here, guys.
Yeah.
We got time travel too.
Yeah, so I didn't really care for that. The ones that I thought were really good was the Workday one where the rock stars were complaining about the HR people in the offices calling everybody a rock star.
Okay.
That was cute. That was 3 for me. Number 2, I actually did appreciate the Coors Light versus Miller time. And it was like, hold on, it's a Blue Moon commercial.
I got to see that. I got to look at these again. I missed a bunch of them.
Yeah, it was super weird, but it was these two guys like fighting over Coors Light and Miller time, and nobody really understood it. But kind of the quiet genius behind it was Coors Light, Miller, and Blue Moon are all owned by the same company now. So they literally just found a creative way to make an ad for all 3 of their fucking beer brands. I appreciated that.
I love Blue Moon. That's my favorite beer.
Yeah. And then it was the first one, and people may have missed it, but it was the best one of the night. Ben Affleck at Dunkin' Donuts with J-Lo. That was the best fucking commercial of the night.
It wasn't bad. It was a little like, it was. I thought when J-Lo came in, I was like, oh.
I was cute when she's like, "Come on, let's," and then she's like, "Grab a glazed." I was fucking hysterical. I was laughing at that. That was good.
Yeah, it was all right. And then she was like, "Well, this is where you're going when you say you got to go to work all day." That was a bad line, I think, because he doesn't leave for work every day, and he goes on movie locations, and it's weird. I thought it was weird. I just didn't buy.
But that's what she's saying. Like, I think you're off making movies, and you're in the fucking Dunkin' Donuts.
No, I know it was just, but that also didn't make sense because if he did Dunkin' Donuts all the time, he would have been better on the drive-through window.
Yeah. Casey Affleck has a hilarious Dunkin' Donuts parody on SNL, which I fucking watch every year at the holidays. I think it's hysterical.
Did you watch? I don't know if we talked about it, but if you haven't seen it, now that you're caught up with The Last of Us, did you watch the Pedro Pascal on Saturday Night Live parody of The Last of Us?
No, I didn't.
Watch that. It's
good?
Fucking hilarious. Yes.
I tell you what, I have a new respect for him.
Oh, he's amazing. He's great. The Mandalorian. He was he was pretty good in. I just saw the one with him and Nicolas Cage, the one with that where Nicolas Cage plays himself.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch that. I almost put it on one night.
Yeah,
That's
that was
good.
good. I liked it. All
Mm.
right, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna send you right now. It's hilarious. So I'm gonna send you the parody he did it on SNL. I'm gonna text it to you. But definitely watch this because it's hilarious. All right, just send it to you.
Miss Justice with the there's an active shooter on Michigan State campus. Multiple
Come
people
on.
reported injured, according to police authorities right now.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And Paul has a good point. Miss Justice, it's every day here. It is. It's out of control. It's unbelievable. It happens literally every day in
Mm.
America.
Am I watching this now or after the show? What am I doing with this thing?
After the show, you don't have to watch
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
It's like 2 minutes long. You're not gonna don't watch it now.
I like Pedro. I'm turning into a fan. He's doing a good job on that show.
I like him.
But that was Super Bowl commercials. Honestly, worst year ever. That one was just the Clydesdales, the Bud Light stuff, the fucking. I mean, the Bud Light commercial with what's his name dancing around with his wife there. Okay, it just seems. And then Jesus bought 2 fucking commercials. The Jesus thing, the people, fucking Scientology had a commercial.
Well, Scientology has a commercial every year.
If the Jews and the Muslims would have aired a commercial, I would have won 10 grand. I had that bet. And then
that was your
yeah.
What are they called?
That was my parlay.
The parlay?
Yeah.
You would have hit big on that. That would have been good.
Yeah. Now I don't know what a spot went for, 10 million or 20 million or whatever it was. I saw this is a billion people on social media at this point, and it's worth regurgitating. You fucking bought the Jesus Loves Everybody commercial. You could have spent 20-30 million dollars fucking feeding homeless people. I mean, what are you fucking doing?
Unless it's one of those, you know how like a network has to give airtime to.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't like that. They had to pay for that.
They don't play around with that shit.
All right.
They don't play around with that shit.
It wasn't a freebie.
That's where they're making their money. They're paying through the ass for those rights. They got to make that money back.
Of course. You spend 20-30 million, whatever, $1 million on those ads. Again, you could have fed how many homeless people or whatever.
Yeah. And by the way, they said, and I haven't really confirmed this, but I'm sure it's true. The ultra right conservative people are the ones who are fucking paying for those spots, and they were terrible spots. The one where they were showing everybody arguing with each other, and they were like, "Jesus," and I'm like, "It's this. Can't we just have a fucking Super Bowl game without the whole? We had to relive the race stuff and the pandemic and we had to fucking relive all that.
Remember all of it. We're all there.
We're all fucking there. They're like,
you get back from commercial, you're like, God, what the hell?
Fucking terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Yeah, I like the movie ones. Whenever there was a movie one, I was like, all right, I'm in. You know, the coming attractions, like the what was the Guardians of the Galaxy, sure.
And then Fox, because they own it, like every year. The other great thing is the networks, they'll devote an X amount of time to promos for their own shows. The big one for this was the Gordon Ramsay cooking show on different floors. That nightmare. But then there was also some promos for Greg Gutfeld. Did you see those?
No.
And he's like, he was on the 5 or whatever the fuck he was on, and now he's doing the late night show on Fox News, and it's like late night has a new king, and it's him sitting there, and I was just like, give me a fucking break.
To be honest. Oh, what was it? Who was it? Gordon? What's his name?
Greg Gutfeld.
Who the hell is that? I thought you were talking about Gordon Ramsay. No, Greg Gutfeld.
He's the closest thing to a relatively funny person on Fox, which, to be totally honest, Fox, CNN, all of them have no business being in the late night game. Yeah, and they're acting like late night's got a new king. Give me a fucking break.
Shut up.
Shut the fuck up.
You know who I think very underrated is in late night is what's his name?
Bear.
No, former SNL. What's his name?
Jon Stewart? No.
No, he used to do weekend updates on SNL.
Oh, Seth Meyers?
Seth Meyers. He's hysterical. He does. I mean, his monologues and his impressions, they're all good, and he's funny. I think he delivers it like he did with the
Weekend
the
update.
SNL stuff. Yeah, I think it's really good.
Yeah, he's okay. I don't hate him.
No, he's funny.
Yeah. What was the last thing we have? Oh, okay. Machine Gun Kelly.
So they're broke up, right? They're broken up.
Are they officially broken up? I heard there's rumors of a breakup.
Well, I know that Megan Fox scrubbed everything off of her
Instagram,
having to do with Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah. Oh, I thought she deleted her Instagram altogether, is what I heard.
I don't know.
I
See,
check
when
this right now.
last time I called her, she said, "Listen, stop calling me. How did you get this number?" And I was like, "Listen, it's in the phone book. I don't know what to tell you." And she went, "Phone book? How old are you?" And I was like, "Shut up." And I
that was a good
my
shtick.
whole
I like that whole
conversation.
thing you did.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Good.
Megan Fox is gone from Instagram.
Okay. Oh, so she didn't scrub him out. She just deleted her whole account.
But people are thinking it's because of him.
Why?
Because her whole fucking love fest of him is like on there. Like, why would she delete it unless she was trying to get rid of him? And
Well, it's more than that.
it dovetails with the rumors that he's cheating on her. And a couple of different people. One is his guitarist that's in his band.
It's so weird. I mean, the two people that are like drinking each other's blood and shit. I mean, again, what do you cheat? You're cheating on her with someone who's probably not drinking your blood. Like, I don't know how you get more devoted than a blood drinker.
Yeah, and it's weird because it's like, like I don't know, cheating on somebody with somebody in your band just feels like a bad move all around because
It's like work, someone you work with,
right,
someone at the office, same kind of situation.
and his band has been around since prior to this relationship with Megan Fox, so it's like
I can't name one song of his.
yeah,
I don't think I've heard a second of his music.
Yeah, neither have I. I mean, I've heard his stuff. He performed at one of the hockey All-Star games last year, maybe, or something like that. So I've heard his stuff, but yeah, I mean, it's okay. What's weird about him is he was like a rap guy, and then like that kind of dried up and was going nowhere. And he's like, all right, I'll just be like a punk emo guy. And the record industry was like, okay. And they,
I know the most I've seen of him was in the last Jackass movie he was in.
That's right. He was in there for a little bit.
That's it. Other than that, I couldn't tell you a song. I couldn't tell you one lyric. I don't know anything about him.
Yeah. I don't know if it was so much that he's cheating on her or she realized if I marry this guy, I'll become Megan Kelly. And that terrified her.
Ah, you see?
There's always that possibility.
Isn't that better than Fox, though? She's already Fox. Why not be Megan Kelly?
She can't get away from the whole thing. No matter which way she goes, she's screwed. But there's also unfounded rumors. This is very unfounded. He was banging some young dude.
There you go.
And somebody caught him banging some young dude somewhere.
Like, too young?
I don't know. Whenever I hear young, I always think to myself, sounds like too young.
Yeah, why would they point that out?
Yeah. Because if you
he's young already. He's like, what, 20-something?
Yeah, he's in his 20s. She's 36. I think he's in his 20s. But if you said to me, Ann, I punched a young guy, the first thing I'm going to say is, well, how young are we talking about here?
Right.
Right? I mean, that kind of goes without saying. So I don't know what's
Well, that's not good if that, I mean, where are you hearing that?
TikTok.
It's probably true then.
Yeah.
Well, allegedly.
There's a girl on TikTok and she just does all blind items, which are like
I know those.
rumors.
Sure.
And I hate her because she can just say the nastiest shit about somebody, and there's no you can't stop.
It's not tying it to it. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean who you think it means.
Right, and that's not responsible journalism. That's just putrid shit. And
Spreading
I literally just
rumors.
did the same thing 2 seconds ago.
You did, yeah. So we don't know any of that is true.
That's what I'm saying. But I like to put it. I like to put it out there with the doubt of this is unfounded and probably not true. Where she goes, guys, you have no idea what I just heard, and people are like, yeah,
how does she know any of this?
Yeah, it seems kind of crazy. Is Ben Affleck back in Batman as Batman in the Flash?
He is.
He is, right?
Yeah.
Why don't they just let Superman be Superman? What is the problem with that? With fucking.
What do you mean? What's wrong?
Henry Cavill, right?
Oh, I don't know what's going on there.
Is he not going to be in this at all? How could they make this movie without a Superman sighting? I don't understand.
There was Supergirl, isn't it?
Yeah, and then they scrapped that whole Batgirl thing where I'd see. Now I thought that he was in that, Keaton. He was the Batman in that. Which maybe that makes a whole bunch of sense.
I've always heard something about the Flash, but I didn't know it was this movie. I thought it was going to be in the TV show or something. But yeah, I always heard, whenever I heard Keaton, they always said the Flash, so I knew it was coming out with this. But he looks good. I got to tell you, what is he, in his 70s now?
Yeah.
And he looks like he's a good Batman, man. He's just 70-year-old Batman, but he in that commercial, he looked like he did in the 90s.
He looked great, and he did the whole. I felt like that was directed towards everybody who grew up with that Batman, and it was just like, there's no way you're keeping that money in your pocket. You're going to go see it.
Yeah.
They've ruined everything. I don't think we're going to get another surprise, but we're still going to go in and go, that was fucking great. That was fucking worth it, and it was wonderful.
Like, I'm Batman. It's like, yeah. You kind of are. There's also a rumor that Christian Bale's coming back as Batman. I don't know in what capacity. His own movie or something else. I don't know. Yeah,
that would be something else. Yeah. It doesn't make sense to me, though, because they canceled the Batgirl thing because they're like, it doesn't fit in the universe. And then they're like, oh,
the reason?
Well, there's a bunch of reasons. But then they were like, oh, the emo Batman that the fucking vampire guys play. They're like, that's okay. Like, well, which one is it? I mean, it feels like a big double standard. Brendan Fraser was on Howard Stern the other day. I saw a clip on YouTube. And he was talking about the reason why they got canceled was the Batgirl movie is because they made it originally for HBO Max.
And then a movie, though.
As a movie, but it was for HBO Max, which was kind of like, well, I think he kind of felt like, well, how are we going to release it? Because it's not as good as it probably should be. And if it's not going to go into the theaters, because remember the credo for a little while was, okay, we're just going to put everything onto streaming and we're not going to worry about movies. During the pandemic, everybody got crazy. Mm-hmm. And now they're backing away from that kind of thing. And they're like, no, this is fucking nuts. We got to start putting things back into movies.
Right.
So I think this got kind of caught in a weird place, and that's why they fucking nixed it.
So they filmed the whole thing too? It was like done, right?
Whole movie's in the can.
So then what's the harm of putting it out?
Just putting it out.
Right now, but right now it makes zero. When putting it out, at least if people are going to go see it. It's not like they're not going to go see it. I could see them scrapping production before it even starts. But since it's already done, I feel like what the hell you got to lose now?
Well, it's weird, like another $40 million or $70 million, because marketing a film is almost the same. There's the way Hollywood is right now, however much it costs you to actually physically film it and produce it is almost the same amount of money that you spend on marketing.
I feel like right now, maybe a month ago, you strike while the iron's hot. It was already marketed. People wanted to see it because it was scrapped. Then you do a reverse and say, no, it's not scrapped. We're going to put it out for you because you guys wanted it. There's your marketing. It's already done for you. Well, people are going to go see it.
It's a good point, because that's what I would say. That's the same thought I had, which is this is all a work. And like it's same thing like how everybody demanded, what's his name, come back to Justice League. What was the guy? They were like, release the blah 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 version.
Oh yeah.
I think it's the same thing. They cancel this out and they go let people get crazy over it for the next 6 months, demanding it, and then we release it. We look like fucking heroes. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, and the Flash, by the way, the guy that before I said the guy, but he doesn't. It's they. The Flash, the person who plays the Flash identifies as they. So I apologize if I messed that up.
Oh, is that right? You shouldn't apologize for that.
I'm just saying I didn't think when I said it.
We've made a lot of mistakes. We can't just hone in on the gender.
The ones I can remember. I'll apologize for the one I can remember. That's the one I remember.
See, that's crazy to me because all I've ever heard of is stories of this guy like fucking locking people up and enslaving them and fucking the molestation charges, and there's all sorts of crazy shit going on with that person.
What's their name? I forget. Let me see. I gotta look at the name.
Mr. Molester, I think, is what it's called. Like I literally, we cover a lot of stuff here. There was so much stuff written about. What is his name?
Ezra Miller.
Yeah, there was so much shit written about Ezra Miller that I go, that's why I can't believe this is coming. Like, if you Google him, there's fucking 19 stories about horrific things he's done to people.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, how they went forward with this movie when everything else is a slight rumor, canceled, or there's whatever's going on, canceled. This, Ezra Miller's accused of all this stuff, and I think he pled guilty to, I forget what it was, but a very small, maybe a domestic abuse or something like that. Mm. But he's Ezra Miller was charged with or is being charged with like you said, kidnapping, and all this crazy shit. And it's like, how is this possible? How are we still going forward with this stuff?
Michael Keaton, that's how. Michael Keaton, Batman.
But you can't refilm and replace Ezra Miller with someone else?
Yeah, I know. It seems weird. It just seems really strange.
You get a new actor in there, and that's that. New Flash.
We're so excited to see Michael Keaton. We're willing to just...
I think Michael Keaton deserves his own new Batman movie. Give him a good, what they do in that universe. They covered all the really big criminals.
Mm.
So I'm trying to think of someone that they didn't get to that maybe. Well,
did you
Bane.
see?
No, Bane was in.
Bane was in it. Did you see the new DC guy? He laid out the first steps of what the new DC universe is going to be. I've never heard of one of these fucking characters that he's
really.
He is the comic book nerds must be losing their shit because I've never heard of any of these people, and he's diving into all this stuff, and he's we're so excited about it, and I'm like, all right.
I mean, you might get if that's the case, then they're not going to get the big audiences they want. I mean, if you're going with obscure, no-name characters, you'll get some audience, but you're not going to get the Superman audience or the Batman.
Yeah,
that's what you need to target. And you put Michael Keaton up against. I mean, I feel like there's a dozen more Batman villains that we haven't gotten to, that you can get in there. Put him up against. I don't think he went up against the Scarecrow in the original 4 Batman movies.
No, Scarecrow was in Christian Bale.
but if you're talking the Michael Keaton universe, there were the first 2 movies was Michael Keaton, then they changed it to Val Kilmer, then they changed it to George Clooney,
right?
And then they started over with a different franchise. So that 4, I feel like those 4 movies are its own universe. Mm-hmm. Then it was, what's his name? It's Batman. I can't remember. Christian Bale. That was another universe. That was a start over.
Well, that would be the move. Going back to what didn't you say this before? If they brought Christian Bale back, that would be the shocker move.
That would be a crazy move. Yeah, that would be cool. But I think they could do a couple more movies with. I mean, with all the CGI and shit, with the stunts, you could have Michael Keaton do a few more Batman movies.
100%. Yeah,
I don't see why not. And you could have him. Maybe you bring back the Riddler. Maybe because he's not dead. He's in Arkham or whatever.
Mm.
Two-Face is dead. But in the old Batmans, those first 4.
Well, it's funny. We never see an old Batman. We never see what Batman turns out to be when he's 65.
In the animated stuff, we do. There is old Batman in the animated.
I'm saying stuff that normal human beings who have lives would have seen.
I got you.
Yeah.
There is old Bruce Wayne, and he has a son, and that's who's Batman now, and he kind of guides him.
He gives it to his son?
His son is the new Batman.
Who is the mom? Is it Vicky Vale? Don't lie to me.
Probably Vicky Vale. I don't know.
Who was the one in Christian Bale Batman? What was her fucking name?
Rachel.
Rachel. I would love to see why hasn't Vicky Vale made a comeback? That's what we need to know.
She got one movie. That's it. She wasn't even in the second one.
Total bullshit.
All right.
You bring back
Catwoman. You could bring back. You could bring back. Here's who didn't die in the Batman in the first 4 movies. You got Catwoman still out there somewhere. Michelle Pfeiffer. You got Mr. Freeze. You got Poison Ivy. You got what's his name? The Riddler. Those 4 are still alive in that universe.
Let me tell you something. If Arnold Schwarzenegger returns in any of those movies, I'm burning the fucking movie theater down to the ground.
Every single line he had was a stupid catchphrase. Was a pun on coldness. Every single line. I don't think there was a regular like, oh, I'm tired of this friggin' bat. There was nothing like that. Every line was a he needs to chill. So stupid.
Cool it.
I'm putting you on ice. It's like, okay. That was every single line. There wasn't a single line that was not a pun.
What was the other Batgirl? Catwoman was Michelle Pfeiffer. Then Anne Hathaway.
She was Catwoman in the Christian Bale one.
Wasn't there another one? Who's the girl?
Batgirl was Alicia Silverstone.
Batgirl's Alicia. No, but who is it? Wasn't there a Catwoman with what's her name? The beautiful girl.
Halle Berry was Catwoman.
Halle Berry, yeah, wasn't she
in a standalone movie?
It was like a weird standalone. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't know what that falls into, but she was and that was like the Razzie friggin'.
Yeah, that was bad.
He took all the awards for the Razzies. But Catwoman still out there. There's a lot of characters you could revisit. I think if you brought back Batman, that would save DC's whole thing.
What about
if you
Joker?
Brought back, well, Joker. If you're going back to what's his name, Jack Nicholson. He didn't make it out of that first movie.
Could you imagine getting those two in a fucking?
Well, that's probably not gonna happen.
You don't think they could CGI Heath Ledger?
They might be able to CGI him, but are you going to get the performance that you
No.
get?
It would be a quick flash of like an extra scene that got deleted, or
yeah,
a
little dialogue or something. They could do his voice probably. They're doing that with Darth Vader. James Earl Jones didn't voice Darth Vader in the Obi-Wan series, and it sounded just like him.
Yeah.
So they could probably get away with that.
That shit's on TikTok now, where people are like getting Joe Rogan's voice and Elon Musk's voice, and that you look at them talking, and you look at their lips closely, and you're like, holy shit, this is just an AI voice.
It's a little too good.
It's way too good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is way, way too good. I mean, we're close to the point where somebody's going to be like, arrested for a murder, and they're going to be like, you got to fucking prove this because it's going to be an AI version of this person.
Could be anybody. Who the hell knows? That's why DNA, baby.
Yeah. All right, Fraggy C. I think we covered it all, did we not?
I think we did. I think we hit everything. And no, this is not this is just a, people asking, this is just a pillow.
No, that's his love sack. Don't worry about that.
My love sack. Right?
Yeah.
It's just a pillow on a string. Yeah, we hang it on the door for Valentine's Day.
Let me see. Did we miss anything? I don't want to talk. Oh, a United Airlines flight did a nosedive. Fucking pilot pulled up 775 feet away from the Pacific Ocean.
Whew.
How fucking nuts is that?
Why did it nosedive?
I don't know. I didn't read the whole thing, but I just thought that was scary.
Yeah, that's fucking. Imagine being on the. Oh my God.
You're shitting yourself. I always think about two things. George Costanza admitting that he cheated
cheated on the bet.
And the other hilarious.
I won.
The other hilarious scene is in Almost Famous when the drummer is like, "I'm gay."
Yeah.
And the fucking thing
levels out.
Oh,
Yeah.
The two best plane almost crash scenes. All right, I think that. Chris Stapleton was fucking great.
He was great, and like I told you, he did it straightforward. He didn't fancy it up. He just sang the thing. Yeah. He has a guitar with him, but sang it pretty straightforward, and it was really good.
Yeah, and I'm tired of these people saying that the NFL is rigged and scripted. Give me a fucking break.
Come on.
That
last call was bullshit, but other than that,
yeah. Did you think the last call was bullshit? I was like,
holding didn't look. I mean, he had his hand on him, but
But supposedly the guy who did it was like, I did hold him.
Oh, all right, then whatever.
So it's
Then I
like
don't
it's
care.
kind of tough. There was some fucking guy on TikTok, and he goes, it's all scripted, and this is how it's gonna go." And I watched, and I go, first of all, this guy's an asshole. Second of all, this guy's a fucking genius because everybody was saving his video because they were like, let's see if it really fucking happens," and his shit was going through the roof. He had
Did he
nothing to
call it?
lose. No, it wasn't even fucking close.
There's nowhere.
It wasn't even close.
Yeah, this is Anthony and Frank predicting tomorrow's weather. I don't know. Whatever.
Remember that. We got to do that shit next year just before the
Yeah.
Super Bowl. But they're all still claiming it's true because Roger Goodell hugged one of the Kansas City Chiefs guys. It was a big love fest. He practically sucked his dick in the end zone at the end of the thing. And they're going, see, this is proof that he wanted Kansas City to win. And it's like,
There's your halftime show.
it's just not the case. Yeah, that would be nice, right? That would be fucking great.
That's
Become a member.
yes, please do.
Please do that. Show the support. $2.99, as low as $2.99 a month. You can't even get a fucking Starbucks coffee for $2.99 anymore.
You can't do that, but you can be a member of the AOA A-holes.
Yes,
and you get like awesome perks. We look at our members. You got a bunch of members in the chat here.
Yeah,
Raven, Paul, Bird, Aussie Annie. A lot of members filling up the chat. We love you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of the show.
members get
And-
priority with getting their comments on the show too. Little known fact.
True.
Yeah.
And whenever we do special contesting and stuff, members usually get the pick of the litter.
Meat potato salad.
Bye, everybody.
Maybe we should go now. Go ahead.